Hello, my friends. In this lesson, I want to talk to you about the structure and how it all came to be of web pages, which are pretty much that user area of HTML. And I promise I'll keep it interesting. However, first, I do want to remind you, or let you know if you never have learned it before, that the word internet, it's derived from interconnected networks. Okay, so the internet is referred to as a electronic communication network that enables the connection of computer networks, transferring a control protocol. Uh, and anyway, that's called TCP/IP. And that is, the internet is defined as a set of connected networks. I think that's pretty much the easiest way to remember it. Briefly, the internet allows computers around the world to communicate with each other via cables. And the information on these computers is stored in what we will call a server, which is open 24/7. Now, resources that allow us to access this data are also called web browsers. And we all tend to know Chrome and Firefox, Safari, etc. The data that comes into us when we search inside of our browser, it's typically going to consist of three different types of page structures. So this includes HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's the most widely used markup language, and it's used to display web pages on the internet. In other words, web pages are composed of HTML, which is used to display text, images, or other resources through your chosen web browser. So HTML is the basic building block, if you will, of the web, and it actually isn't technically a programming language, but it is responsible for the structure of the website. So first we will establish our structure. So that's it, right? No. I mean, there's a whole lot more to it than that, because we've got to create visually rich content which is used on web pages. So here is also the CSS factor coming into our lives. Now, CSS is short for Cascade Style Sheet. Okay, so it's responsible for shaping of the website. Okay, so is that all you need to know? Negative. The third component of what we're going to be learning here is JavaScript, which is necessary to determine how each different part of the web page functions. So what I'm actually setting up for you here is, how are you going to basically learn what's essential and what is unnecessary? So I've decided that it's kind of more useful to examine the issues separately. So in this course, what we're going to do is start with HTML, and that's the basis of web development. And then, if you want to go up to the next floor, so to speak, in your progression, you will be able to learn the other topics once you've mastered this. All right, so let's have a little chat then about the text editor. We're going to prepare our applications with this text editor while we learn HTML. Of course, there are many options for text editors. And before we get to my favorite, I want to let you know what else is out there, right? There is Atom, as I mentioned before. There's Brackets, VS Code, Notepad. But I think the most useful and visually beneficial to us all, especially when you're starting out, is Atom. So, in this course, we're going to make all of our applications in Atom. So in order to use the Atom editor, we're going to download it to our computer. Of course, we'll go to Google or whatever your favorite search engine is to download Atom. And all we do is type in Atom and go to the first page from the results that come up. And then on the page here, we'll click Download, and as you can see, Atom is downloading. And then when the download finishes, we'll just open up atom.exe. Now, we get a blank screen. And if you get a welcome screen or black screen, it doesn't matter. Let's just get to work. So close all of these screens. And what I want to tell you is just go through some of the initial properties for Atom that are going to be most useful. So we're going to be learning by practice or hands-on, as I told you before. So I don't want to necessarily just overload you with a lot of theory or practical or logical explanations. I just want to show you the features as we will use them. So I want to show you the properties of Atom as they become available. You can, of course, poke around if you want to, but then you will be able to use the different tools in the applications that we're going to make, and that way you will learn it as best as you possibly can. All right, so what did we do today? We answered the question of what is HTML. Briefly, we talked about some of the other components of front-end development. Then we prepared the necessary environment for HTML by downloading Atom, and that we will be able to use throughout our course. So in the next lesson, that's when we're going to talk about the basic tag usage in HTML. All right, I hope you're all set up, and I will see you in the next lesson.